So
Right.
whoever's on YouTube, excellent, they can hear us. But um, yeah, I'm like, look, don't kind of don't fuck yourself. I'm like, like kind of still keep your options open, obviously,
Yeah,
right?
so I
So
said something. Just don't burn any bridges and fucking couple of the thumbs, man.
don't burn any bridges. Find a job, get it. Tell them that you're going on early holidays or something like that. And
Exactly, man.
but seriously, the skills he'll learn from doing this shit,
He's
he's
only
out
got
of
a
control.
fucking killer mindset, eh? Like fucking the shit he's been saying to me. I'm like, how long you been doing this?
Yeah, yeah.
I know,
He's got a
man.
great mindset. Kano, how you doing, bro?
Good, dude. Going well, going well. How's it all going down your neck of the woods?
Man, life's good down here, dude. We've got I mean, like shit. Just everybody's. All you guys on the call right now, your mindsets are that fucking solid. It's pretty hard to break right now. I feel like you guys have done so much work on yourselves that all the stuff that we've been doing, all the other stuff like the compounding with the call centers, the constant journaling and the tracking. We are, all of us, as a team, as a unit, are on the verge of a fucking massive breakthrough. Mickey Mickle up there in on the Gold Coast is, now starting to see some really cool results. He's starting to have guys come back into the business. And starting to have people approach him. So I feel like all the hard work, the universe has tested a lot of us, but we haven't broken, and that's the true test. How resilient are we? Like how strong can we be in times of adversity? Because the universe just wants to see how long we can endure this pain for. It's like, are these guys really made of the good stuff, or are they? Yo, yo, you guys there?
Yo,
Yeah, and everyone just drop out.
Everyone just dropped out, so
yeah.
my sincere apologies for how retarded Google is, but anyways, roll back on. Um,
Oh,
so yeah, basically I was just saying that a lot of our hard work is starting to pay off. Yeah. The universe wanted to see how long we could stick it out for. I truly believe that the worst of it is over. Yeah. I believe that right now we're in a very good spot. We're probably in one of the better positions that we could possibly be in. Um, I'm looking around. I'm constantly evaluating, and I'm looking at what other teams are doing, and I'm like, cool, I'm going to take that. Don't want to use that. Cool, let's take that. Don't want to use that. Talking to all the leaders at White Diamond. What are you doing? What are you listening to? What are you reading? What are you studying? Okay, how's your mindset? How are you overcoming that shit? What rituals do you do every day? What are your habits in the morning? What are your habits at lunchtime? What are your habits at nighttime? And I'm feeding and I'm getting an idea because the leaders, the White Diamond leaders, the Blue Diamond leaders, all these leaders, every single person in that organization will follow their lead, whether it's good habits or bad habits. So just really wanted to kind of see where they're at and what they're implementing, what they're compounding. And I just feel like right now, we're just on point. So it's a good place to be in, especially when you kind of know how everybody else is operating. So yeah. So look, tonight let's not ramble on for too much longer. We're going to start off with a little bit of recognition. So let me just see where Josh is. And whoever's on YouTube links, you guys want to message me so I know who's on there.
We got Benny and Molly.
They're on YouTube.
Yep, Benny just texted me then, said we dropped out, but we're all good back on.
Okay. Cool. So, alright, so we're just going to get started, right? So let's go through the recognition first and foremost, okay? Straight up want to talk about how well Josh has been doing. This cat's been relentless. He's applied for every call center job he can get his hands on. He got a breakthrough, and as you guys know, I put it up in the group. He got a job at the same place that I'm going to start working at as of tomorrow. So that's pretty cool. So, hang on, this is Josh messaging me now. Yeah, he's getting on. Dude, we're already started. Hustle. So yeah, basically, he's got a job there. So I just wanted to give some recognition to Josh because he, in his first week of his other job, absolutely smashed it. Did 4 sales in 1 week. That's good. So now he's going to be working at a place where the commission's a little bit better. He's going to learn a little bit more, and obviously I'll be there to work with him. So big props to Josh. Now, who else? So we got Nick Bennett. This guy's just been hustling like a motherfucker. His results have been compounding. He's probably the clearest that I've seen him the whole time that we've been working together. Just very focused, very on point, knows what he's doing, knows where his weaknesses are, asking a lot of really good questions, not just to myself, but guys like Kyle, and questions, really wise questions like, what were your biggest failures? What were your biggest lessons? And how have you applied them? I mean, that's just a fucking great question, you know what I mean? So it's just sponging off anybody and anybody that he can get his hands on, and just that willingness and eager to learn. And you can see, you can see the results. You can see what's compounding, and you can see the clarity. He's a lot clearer, and I would say that largely attributed to the fact that obviously journal is helping a lot, more communication between myself and him. So super excited to see what the next cycle brings for this dude. And also, who else has been on the hustle? Big Kano. All right. So without giving away too much of his why and too much of his story, this guy he's the capital R in relentless. He knows no limits, and just has a really uncanny ability to connect with people, anybody. Doesn't matter who it is, and he draws people into him. So one thing about Kano is that he's just been wrapping his head around his core lessons in his birthday book, and one of the biggest things that I would have to bring to light with Kane is that fear. Most people will never see the success that they deserve because they don't know how to break out of their comfort zone. I don't want to give it away too much because I know he's going to talk about it, but Kano has faced one of the biggest possible fears you could face in life to make a really massive decision, and because of that, it's opened up a whole new chapter of his life. I don't want to go into it because he's going to explain that when he goes and does his 7-minute power piece. But, dude, you come in leaps and bounds, facing fear like that head on and just completely busting what it is, that comfort circle that most people, kick themselves in on a daily basis, weekly, monthly, yearly basis, never really get out of it. You've just crushed it, and you don't even know what a comfort circle is, man, because you're always going outside of it. So, unreal, great work. Josh, you just missed your recognition. I'll come back to you. Nick Mickle, this guy has been in it for I don't even know how many months now, but basically I've been talking to him for well over a year and a bit. We're talking in Hong Kong, and he was just constantly, yeah, we'll do it. He's faced every possible adversity in the business. If anybody's got that rock solid mindset, I would have to say it's this dude. He's got 2 kids, right? He's got now a beautiful wife. He works anywhere from 80, sometimes 100 hours on the Gold Coast, driving 2 to 3 hours, sometimes 5 hours to one place, then back. Fitting out like 12 units sometimes in the blistering heat. Then he's running a business on top. Then he's getting people that are constantly telling him this thing doesn't work, it's a scam, it's a pyramid scheme, it's bullshit, you're never going to succeed in this, this is rubbish, the products don't work, Most people, even though they're not getting the result that they wanted initially, would have fucking quit. They would have quit when the hardship started. They would have quit. They wouldn't have stuck with it. Not only is he stuck through losing an Emerald organization, right, but he's stuck through, all the adversity of all the naysayers, of all the people that say no to him in his business, of losing an Emerald team, of raising a family, and he's still fucking here. The guy should write a book on how not to fucking be a pussy. Buck up, do what you got to do, and get the job done. You know?
Yeah.
So I've been best mates with Nick since we were kids. We used to get in all sorts of trouble with each other. I've got massive, massive amounts of respect for him as a person, as a leader, because I don't know many people that would stick that shit out. Period. So fucking props, man, because you're doing an awesome job up there. And he's by himself.
Yeah, bro.
You know what I mean? So that's legit.
Yeah.
And, you know, we've got Adam as well. Adam's a new guy on the block. This is one of Nick's new leaders, Nick Mickle. I know it's going to get confusing, so I'll just say Nico or Mickle. You know, Adam is basically, he's just recovered from cancer. He overcame it first time. Second time it came back. He's nipped it in the bud, just got cleared last week. The kid's only, what, 2021, I think? We'll confirm that in a little bit, right? But he's a young buck. He's been working 6 years as a mechanic, okay? You know, and just getting underpaid, underappreciated, and he's just got so much heart that he's ready to go rip this. He's willing to leave his job to get in the Triple C campaign because he realizes the potential and he trusts in Nick's leadership, my leadership, and he sees the vision of where this thing's going. The kids face more adversities than most adults will in their entire lifetime. So, you know, massive round of applause to all you guys, okay? You know, and Carly, because, you know, she's there leading the charge with Nick and Kano. You know, before I came into the picture, you guys were pumping, and, you know, and she stuck at it. I mean, like, the stories that Carly will give you about some of her social circle, and the shit they've thrown out at her, and some of the mindset stuff that she's had to overcome, right? Again, most people would quit. So there's no shortage of, you know, the levels of resilience that we have, okay? But what we are lacking in is maybe the determination to act on the belief that we need to develop, okay? So there's small little mental barriers, different for each person. Some of us need to focus more on standards. Others need to focus more on self-worth. Others need to focus more on belief and whatnot, okay? So some need to just focus on more study to sharpen our mindset, to sharpen our intellect, okay? Whatever it is, they are little things compared to being able to last, okay? Just being able to outlast. And that's the most important thing I believe in this business. It's the reason why I'm still here. It's the reason why all you guys are still here. So massive congratulations to all you guys. You deserve the recognition. And, you know, now let's just make sure that we just take massive amounts of action and start to realize our potential. So that's a recognition out of the way. First up, I'm gonna hand it over to Nick. Nick Mickle. Oh shit, not Nick Mickle. Nick Bennett, right? So first up, this is gonna get fucking confusing. So I'm just gonna get Bennett up, and basically he's gonna do a 5 to 7 minute power piece, just on his progress, his why, his progress, his challenges that he's overcame, pretty much, you know, since you're in, but maybe it goes a little bit deeper back. So I'm going to hand it over to Nick because I feel like there's a lot that we can learn through what this cat's been through, and his story's pretty out of control. So I'm going to hand it over to you, brother. Woo.
Cheers, mate. So pretty much, it didn't really change at your end. It was a lot before that, and it was pretty much when Kane actually came down and stayed at my house for 2 weeks. Now, if everyone's got a pen and paper, yeah, I'm guessing you do. If you don't, you probably shouldn't be on this call. So here's a quick question. Like, if you were to write down right now, what are the 3 biggest discourages you've got? What would they be? Like, if you start writing them down right now, what comes to your mind?
3 biggest what?
And what would your 3 biggest discourages? What are the 3 things right now stopping you from moving forward?
Okay.
And I got asked this question the other day, and I started writing stuff down. I got about 10 things, to be honest, and then I kept reading on, and it's like that. None of those are your problem. You're your problem. It's that simple. You're your own worst enemy, which means that you're the solution. Which pretty much what me and Kano had going on, which worked so well, was this active, positive self-talk, and it wasn't not not thinking negative. It was actively thinking and forcing yourself to think positive. It was like, oh yeah, I didn't think negative then, so no, twist it, make it positive. What is the good happening? And it's about focusing on not focusing on what's not working, but what's focusing on what is working. And that was a good thing with me and Kane, is like we pretty much spent day in, day out together for 2 weeks straight, and we'd be in the car inviting right next to each other, and if I said one word wrong, Kane would pull me up on it. They literally would, gloves are off. It got to the point where when I did my speech down in Melbourne at a launch on Wednesday night, I recorded it so I could send it to Kane, because I know he'll be more brutally honest with me than Carly and Asher. Because I know he'd just strip it bare and give it to me absolutely hardcore. He'd text me and just go, man, that was fucking piss poor, if that's what it was. So that is what was a massive thing for me, was that we know each other. I could tell him anything that he's doing wrong because I know it's purely out of love. That is why we do it. And so the main thing that we found was that you're just doing it in a positive way. And what a big part was just letting go. And if a lot of us pretty have deep whys on here, and that's why we're pushing so hard for this. And yeah, like damaged goods, have a really bad background, rough upbringing, abuse, drugs, you name it, all the rest of it. The secret of letting go is being grateful for what you've got going on. And it's not about letting go so you're not angry at them. It's all for your own sake. Just let it go so you can grow and prosper. And this came massively back to the journal, and having Asher there so much for the mindset stuff is mentally tracking. That was a massive thing that we weren't doing, and as soon as we started doing it, that's when we started developing. And it works so much, especially when it came to inviting, of being emotionally... being emotionally detached from what's going on. And what I found helping with being emotionally detached from inviting, whatever, and I'm getting the best results when I am actually just uncaring so much, not needy, was when I had so many things going on. When my pipeline was full, when I had 10 other meetings going on that afternoon, if this person said, no, it didn't matter, I've got 9 more. And so if you can fill up your schedule, you're going to be mentally in a better place, I found. And just recently, actually, I was working behind a bar, and an actor came in, an Aussie actor called Ryan Core. Now, he's out of a couple of TV shows, Packed to the Rough and all this. And I'm sitting there thinking, I am so sick of being the dude behind the fucking bar right now, instead of this guy getting his photo taken with all these hot chicks and just living the dream. And it came back to really, and I think a lot of the boys in our team struggle with this at times, is taking ownership and taking responsibility for absolutely everything. I heard a quote, I think E.T. says it, he goes, you've got to stop telling people you wrote a book and start telling people you're an author. Like, you've got to own what you are doing. Like, don't act it, don't put the face on, it's got to be you. And that comes to, like, internalizing it and that muscle memory. And it's the greats, Asher, Kyle, all these guys have internalized it because they just fucking do more. They just repeat the process. It's muscle memory. You go to the gym, you lift more. You invite, you're going to get better. You train people, you're going to get better. And it's just that massive thing of becoming that person. You've got to internalize it, which is repetition. And that's why I guarantee Ash has done the most on this call. I guarantee Kyle's done more, Dave's done more. It's because they're doing it more and more and more, and that's why they're growing so much quicker. And it got to the point where I was just like, shit, I've really got to take ownership. And Kano's made a massive decision to head down to Melbourne soon. And I thought, holy shit, I've got 3 weeks of him being in Japan for me to absolutely blitz it. So when he comes here, I'm my best for him. Because that's how I feel. This guy is at such a good level that I've got to be 10 times better than him so I can pull him along, because right now there's times where he's pulling me, and that's what's so good. We just keep pushing each other. So I got to the point where, like, write down all your goals. Write down what you don't want to tolerate from yourself. Write down what you want to improve on, and write down the things that you don't want to ever see yourself do again. It's like letting go. All that shit that's done in the past, that's no longer you. You're aware of what you've done. Sweet, learn from it, move forward. And so that was a massive one with us, is like we had teams going in all the states, all over the country. Kano started getting New Zealand going, and we were all like, boom, this is just happening. We're just good at this, growing, almost hit Emerald first cycle. And then it literally went from, I think, 11,000 PV my first cycle to like 2. It just disappeared. And that was purely because I took my eye off the ball. I thought I had it, and it wasn't taking that ownership and responsibility of what's going on. And that brings it to the next point of, it is a choice. It is everything you do, it is a choice. We live in such a fucking awesome age where you can choose your input, what you're watching, what you're listening to, who you're hanging around, what you're doing. You can choose every little bit of input that you hear. You can choose to be inspired. It is that simple. You can choose your mental state. You can, if you're feeling down, chuck on ET. I guarantee you won't be feeling down 5 minutes later. It is such a thing. It is literally a choice. And it got to the point where, have you decided you want to change enough? That was the question for a lot of guys, and that's a hard thing. Everyone says they want it. Everyone I talk to tells me they're going to be a white diamond. And then they quit 2 months later. It's like, do you want to change enough? It is a choice. And as Jim Rohn says, choose all. Choose all you can, prosper all you can, earn all you can, make all the friends you can, because it's your choice. And me and Kane were actually talking about this the other day when we're just like, all right, man, what's next? What's our next step? And we kind of narrowed it down to integrity. This is a massive one, integrity. If someone was to say you do what you say you're going to do, would they? Every time you say you're going to do something, what is your word worth to people? And we're just sitting there like, man, we've got to raise our standard. Our standard has to be hot and bugs, and we'll end up like Kyle if we're lucky. It's got to be, when we say we're going to do it, we're going to exceed every situation. And that comes to being uncomfortable. Successful people are uncomfortable. They're happy being uncomfortable, and they're happy with not being perfect and just taking action, moving forward. And they don't bullshit themselves. When Asher asks for the numbers each week, have you actually written them down? Or are you going, yeah, I think I did about 5 or 6, a couple of follow-ups, like, fuck, no, I actually only did 4, maybe 4.5 if I'm lucky. It's having that complete, and this only really came from when me and Kana were right next to each other and we could pull each other up on fucking everything. That it was like, oh, man, come on, your tone of voice kind of dropped there. That could have been better. To the point where everything was critiqued. And that is the best way to do it, except it's so hard because you don't have each other there. That comes back to your integrity and what you're doing. And it's your job to do all the crap you don't want to do so you can be everything you're supposed to be. It's going to be hard, but it's going to be colored with who you are and who you want to be. Enjoy that. And that was a big thing for us, is like moving forward, is like our integrity. It's like, what's your word worth? And the numbers don't lie. And I did quite a few invites in presentations this weekend. I would expect Asher in 6 months, if I was doing these numbers every week for the next 6 months and not signing up a rep, to say, mate, you're a fucking liar. That's simple, because numbers don't lie. I think the boy said it at White Diamond too. If you want your business to grow, your numbers better grow. It is that simple, and that comes down to integrity. And that was a massive thing for us. It was like, that's our next step. It's got to be just us. Everything we say we're going to do, we do. If I'm going to call him at 2:03 in the morning, I'm going to call him at 2:03 in the morning. I'm going to be pumped. It's just got to be you. And it was just all about raising our standard after you're in and seeing all the holes and finding all the weeds that we had going on. It was like, all right, cool. Yeah, we're doing all right. But people expect to be a multimillionaire with an average mindset. And they just don't add up. It's like, cool, yeah, but I'm ready. I'm ready for the money. Like, I want it. I fucking want the money. I'm ready for the car. I was like, who gives a fuck? Are you working like a multimillionaire? I'm lucky enough to work with a guy who owns a pub, and he actually works about 90 hours a week. He's probably worth about $10 million. That's a multimillionaire mindset, working harder than everyone else in the room. So you've got to raise your standard. If it's 5 in the morning, your alarm clock goes off, you've got half an hour to do an invite pod, and you're sitting there going, nah, it's Monday morning, no one will be up anyway. You've got to think, and we've heard everyone, all the top leaders say, what would your superhero self do? You've got to be the hero of your own story. What daily enthusiastic action are you taking? Peter, my acting teacher, always goes to, he's like, what are you working on now? 99% of actors just go, yeah, I'm working on a few things down the road. Like, yeah, a couple of projects going. He's like, nah, that's fucking horseshit. Like, literally, just says that's fucking bullshit. What are you doing today is the question. Did you invite today? I thought about it, I was practicing it, a couple of bodies. No, what did you actually do? What enthusiastic action did you take? And it all just comes down to, like, how bad do you want it? And, like, life is short. You've heard that quote? That's absolute bullshit. Life's long, especially if you've got shit you regret. And I can tell you right now, it's the shit you haven't done that you're going to regret. I've done some really bad shit in my time, some really stupid, foolish shit, and hence why I've got a court date next week. I've still got to sort out. But it doesn't bother me. The things that bother me are the things I haven't done. My friends who I grew up with, who I was swimming with, who I was beating in the pool, I used to be a swimmer, are now gearing up to go to Brazil to the Olympics. And that could have been me. That's the shit that eats at you.
Nice.
And I love Will Smith. And he talks about, like, pretty much, don't be realistic in your goals. We all have it at times going, oh, look, nah, I probably won't hit white diamond this year. It's like, let's be realistic. Fuck that shit. Why be realistic? Being realistic is the most common road to mediocrity. And he brings it in saying, if you aren't making someone's life better, you're wasting your time. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm here to make the world better. That's why we're doing this now. We're here to make our friends' and families' lives better, our lives better. It's okay to want to be someone to make a difference. And I think that was a big thing with me. Kano was the turning point. It was like, yeah, we wanted it. Yeah, we could do it. It's like, all right, now we need to become it. That is the big thing. You've got to become the person you want to be. And it comes down to things like your integrity, your ownership of your team. If it's not growing, it's on you. I know that if I'm not at fucking peak performance when Kano comes down here, he's not going to grow. Or I'm going to hold him back. I want him to succeed me fucking tenfold. So I know I've got to be at Ash's standard or higher by the time like he comes down here. You've got to take ownership for your results. That was the real turning point. Pretty much all learnt that from Kano coming down to Melbourne for 2 weeks and just having someone there the whole time.
Nice, man.
And we'll finish off with Holt and Bug. Stream a lot sooner, a lot bigger. A lot bigger, a lot sooner. Boom. That's about it, really.
Start it up. Molten Bugs is the man. There's a reason why that guy's making $1 million a month. Residual. Alright. There's a lot to learn from that. What I liked about Nick, just talked just then, mentally tracking was a big thing I took away. Because obviously you can see where your errors in judgment, you can see where your behaviours need improving. Unless you're really tracking with the journal, you're just walking through life aimlessly. It's just, there's no structure. The pipeline full, okay? Keeping your pipeline full. What does that mean? Well, when you've constantly got a full pipeline of people that are moving along through the escalations, you've constantly got people that you're adding to the list. There is no neediness, right? The only other neediness will come is if you don't really have a job that's bringing in a sufficient amount of income for you to be able to live and to not be needy while you're building this business. Because if you don't have that, you not only become needy in your business, but you've got the added stress of not having a full pipeline, and then they both compound, and people can smell that a mile away. And integrity. That's a big, big thing. So yeah, that were major 3 points that I took away. But yeah, awesome, Nick. And you can obviously see why he's been able to move himself along, right? Why he's been able to overcome a lot of these challenges that a lot of us are facing as well, because his standards grow, right? Because he's not looking at this like it's a little onesie-twosie type of business anymore. He realizes that you can either have excuses or results. You can react or you can respond. And he decided to take the moral high path and get the job done. And him and Kano keep each other fully accountable. So he doesn't let little things get in the way. This person said this to me. My leaders aren't doing this. This happened. Oh my God, the world's gonna end. It's just like, okay, cool, reset, let's get it done. Let's just get it done. Let's be relentless. Didn't sleep last night. Cool, sleep when I'm dead. Let's get it done. All right? So it's just the way it is, but yeah, awesome, 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 awesome. Took a lot away from that. So I'm going to hand it over to Kano. Kano's little power speech, and then after that, we'll jump on and we'll talk about just a few things that we can do in terms of strategy moving forward. So, Kano, take it away, my man.
Great work, Nick. Took about half my speech with how we were hanging out down there, but that worked.
I thought so.
I suppose where I started is when I first started this business, I was up in Alice Springs.
Alright.
Hey?
Really
cutting
bad
out for anyone else?
Yeah.
What's that?
The connection's cutting in and out, man.
Yep.
Yep.
How we doing?
Yep. We're good.
Alright, cool. So, yeah, so when I first started this business up in Alice Springs, and I was using pretty much Nick and Carly as my two uplines, my first 5 reps got started and quit straight away. My first 2 months were pretty good, and then it dropped completely after that. So, you know, we all go through these cycles of doing quite well and then dropping off, and then it got to the point where you just decide to be like, okay, well, where can I improve? And I suppose fast track to running, and lucky enough to get an invite up to your end after working closely with Asher and Nick as well. You know, thankfully Asher did a lot of work
Hey, Nick, Kane, hold up. Hold up. Can anybody else not hear him?
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
cutting in and
I
out. Mate.
It's cutting in and out, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, hang on.
Yeah, otherwise we'll have to do something else because we can't hear.
Yeah, how we doing?
Maybe it's your headphones, I don't know.
Alright, let's try it. Hang on. How we doing?
Yeah. I don't know. Say something, we'll let you know.
Yo. Yeah.
Nah, still fucked, man.
Can you record it and send it to us in the group?
Yeah, can do.
Yeah. Yeah, record it, man. What we'll do is we'll move on just because we can't really hear that well. And we don't want to hold this up too much longer. So even if we get you to do it on next talk or record it. So that's all right. We'll get back to it. So I'm just going to... Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So let's start getting into the crux and the nitty-gritty of what we're doing here. Okay, so now I want to talk about the call center campaigns again. I'm going to talk about it a lot. Why? Because it's our strategy, all right? It's how we're going to move forward through this thing. I just want to give you a little bit of insight into the role that I've just previously got in, and that way you guys can understand. I'm trying to mute Kane, but it's not working. There we are. And that way you guys can understand just a little bit about what these roles would entail once you're in, what you need to do, and you know the kind of possibilities that you can get from one of these gigs. So, job I got, there's only 5 guys in the office, right? So I'm in selling educational deployments, right? It completely goes against what I fucking believe in, but I'm only in there to really, I'm only in there to really go in and drain the office and find the sharpest people and help stack Josh because he's already in there, and then get the hell out of there and find another one. But you know, the incentive's pretty good. So this is how it goes. It's a sliding scale, right? So you're going to make 4 sales a week. Okay, some of these guys are making 4 sales in a day. So you go in there, you make 4 sales a week. That'll get you your base wage of about 45 to 50K. You do 8 sales in a week, you're making 100K plus. You get into what they call the 100K club. They've got prizes, they've got incentives. They actually have this one game where they bring in like a vacuum and they put the fan on and then they chuck real money into the vacuum, and you're there and you're trying to grab as much of it as you possibly can. Right?
Some Wolf of Wall Street shit.
Oh,
Yeah,
fuck.
it's like out of control, man. See, people think of call centers and they think, you know, somewhere over in the Philippines or India. Man, it's not like what you guys would think. That's inbound. That's the worst type. This is outbound. You get paid for how you perform, okay? And it's all about your ability to close. Can you close yourself? It's the same with this business. Can you close yourself? Can you close anybody? There's a specific method. I've been listening to Grant Cardone only a little bit, okay? And if I have to go back to what we were doing when we were doing the 3-way calls, the reason why it worked is because there was so much freaking belief that I had when we were on that call. I knew if you were getting on the phone that you were signing up. And if you didn't sign up right there and then, you sure as hell were going to sign up in the next day or two, because what was said on that phone would stick in your head and you would not be able to get it out, right? It's that unwavering belief that you need to bring to these jobs, right? When you get into that call center, you need to bring it, all right? You need to bring your best self. So they're the incentives. I think it's quite easy for any single one of us to be able to get into a position where we're in the 100K club within the first month. I'm going to aim to break whatever record it is in there, And it's not for my ego. It's for the fact that there's only 5 people making that money in the office. Those 5 people are going to be in our organization, straight up, okay? Now, best thing about the waiting room is that you never know who's going to get stacked, guys. So let's all raise our standards, because I've risen mine 10x on what I already thought was 10x. What you think is 10x at your current level of consciousness is never 10x. It's just 10x for that level of consciousness that you're at. You can still go higher and higher and higher and higher, because every time you raise the bar, you've got to raise the 10x level, right? Does that make sense? I am going to find the sharpest people in Melbourne, in sales, in whatever area they're in, and sign them up. Question is, will they be stacked underneath you? Even better question, can we all as a team raise our standards high enough to be worthy of having these people in our organization? Because it's one thing to work hard to get to that level, be like, all right, I deserved it this month, Ash. I deserved it this week. All right, cool. Bang. I'm going to get stacked. But are you quality enough to be able to lead these people to the success that they need? Right? The things that make you go, I don't know if you guys remember that ad or not. Okay, I used to see that ad all the time. Right? So these are the questions you've got to start asking yourself. John C. Maxwell, okay? It's the questions that we ask ourselves, or that we're not asking ourselves, rather, that are more important than the questions we ask other people. Okay? So that's just something for you. So going into this job, I start tomorrow with Joshy Boy, okay? And, you know, what are the things that are going to come from this kind of a gig, all right? Well, first and foremost, you're going to learn how to literally build rapport in 30 seconds flat. Imagine, just imagine, think, close your eyes, do whatever you need to do. If you could walk up to somebody and within 30 seconds have instant, deep, massive rapport. Now think back to how would one generate this kind of rapport with somebody? Well, practice is a good idea. But how many people are literally going to, even the sharpest guys are going to get out of their comfort zone to go up and approach someone on the street over and over and over and over and over again, complete strangers, to build rapport, to learn how to do it? Not many, if any, how to do it, right? So, I'm sorry, I think I'm funny, right? So you guys are going to have to go with me. At least I'm not cracking that joke, so that's something, right? Not many. I'm not going to say if any, right? Not many at all, right? Not many people are going to go out there and do what they need to do in order to get that practice up. What are we doing in a call center job? We're making 160 to 180 freaking calls every single day. You think something's going to rub off? Unless we're dead set, half semi-retarded, and we just don't know how to track and analyze what we're doing, yeah, for sure, maybe you're not. But we're going in there with already the right sort of operating system, okay? We know how to track our mindset and our behavior because we journal. We know how to invite, open, and close. Well, some of us maybe still need to sharpen up on the close. But these are all skills that we're honing in on day after day after day after day after day. This one job that we're going to be doing with the call center, it's all vision. So what do you need to do when you get in there? You've got to motivate and inspire these people to go and to purchase an online degree course so they can better their future, right? Some would say, well, Ash, isn't that contradictory to what you believe? Yeah, 100% it is, okay? But the way I look at it is 95% of the population is screwed either way you look at it. If some BS course that, yeah, maybe I don't really believe in, but it's still going to give a lot of these guys the benefits of, wow, I need to look at starting my own business. Maybe being an entrepreneur is the way to go. See, the way I look at it is when I get people on the phone, I'm going to educate them why this course is a stepping stone to them to be able to finally find a life of financial freedom. I'm not selling them a course. I'm selling them the ability to develop a mindset through that channel to be able to go on and do bigger and better things. You see, this is just a vessel for them to get the paradigm break they need in order to get to where they need to be. See, that's the story I sold myself on. Is it right? Who knows? I believe in it wholeheartedly. I believe the course is bullshit, but I believe a lot of the 95% need to go through something traditional like this, like I did, to realize how messed up it is, but at least it's in business. Guys picking up what I'm putting down, right? It's vision. We've got to inspire these guys. Learning how to do that 160, 180 times every single day is going to make you guys sharp. It's going to teach you how to connect with people instantly. It's going to give you guys skills. It's going to fill your pipeline. You're going to have so many people to invite, you're not going to know what to do with them. You're going to transform and turn into somebody amazing. There's so many positive flow-on effects from this. So I just wanted to get you guys to just be thinking in the mindset of why are we doing this Triple C campaign? And if we're all doing it, where do you think we're going to be? Not even 6 to 12 months. Where do you think we're going to be in 2 to 3 months? This is the kind of stuff that I go to bed stewing over. This is the kind of stuff that I obsess over on a daily basis, right? It's thinking, how can we get better, right? How can we fill a pipeline? All of us are saying that our lists are done. We all know that that's bullshit, right? Even if I went into my list, I could still find another 15, 20 people that I haven't talked to, maybe more. I'm doing that every day. But I do understand the one important component or the one element is that maybe we don't have the quality people we want in that list right now. And I respect that, and I understand it. That's why we're doing the Triple C campaign, okay? We're going to learn so much stuff from this. It's going to blow up your freaking mind. So don't give up. Keep going. If you're looking for part-time in a call center, you'll find it. Don't give up. Universe is testing you. The one thing I learned from Grant Cardone, right? Let me just get my notes. He's got it here, right? He who stays the longest will achieve the mostest. That's a Grant Cardoneism. Right? He who stays the longest will achieve the mostest, right? Closer. Close, right? If you take the C out, what does it spell? Lose. And that's what people that don't know how to put the C in close are going to do every single time, okay? They're going to lose. What does the C stand for? Commitment, consistent, and can do, the 3 C's. We have to track everything we do, guys. There's a method. So the Triple C campaign, we will become unrecognizable to anybody that stands in our way, okay? So I just really, really, really quickly wanted to go over that. In terms of our 4 vital priorities, does anybody want to give a stab at what our 4 vital priorities are? Anyone? All right, cool. I'll go over it. All right, maybe we're just a little bit starstruck tonight. So we've got invite, edify,
follow up,
track and follow up. Bang. All right. Why is that important? That is all our newest people need to know. That and Rising Star in 7 days or less. Yeah. What are your 4 vital priorities? Well, I need to know how to invite, edify you on a 3-way call, and anything else. I got to track what I'm doing, and I got to follow up. Awesome. So for you guys right here, I just want to share my screen so that I can show you guys something that I prepared earlier. All right. Let me. Oh man, I never get this right. So just hopefully, does this work? Hey, can you see? Can you see that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Can you see the tracker?
Yep.
Yep. Can everyone see it?
Mhm.
Okay. I've only heard like a couple of yeses. I need.
Yeah, it's good.
Yep. Mikkel, can you see it, man?
Yep.
Yep. Cool.
Love it.
All right. So this right here, guys, you know, we've been doing our numbers, right? And we've basically been doing them pretty much every day, and at the end of the week, we all update. So what I did here, okay, it's all of the stuff that we're already doing. How many brand new invites have you done? How many invite tools have you sent out? All right. How many presentations have we done? How many trainings have we done? How many follow-ups have we done? And are we adding 2 new people to the list? So all the stuff we're already updating, I just made it into a table, okay? So let's say you put in 5 for Sunday, 5 for Saturday, 5 for Sunday, 5 for Monday, 5 for Tuesday, 5 for Wednesday, and so on, right? you'll see here that it'll say you achieved 35, your goal was 20, you smashed it, so the percentage for that week is 175. Cool? And then you would do that, and then all you guys would need to do is just copy these parts here, and just send it to me. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
All right,
Yep.
guys. This is to make it easier for us, right? We all understand we've got to get back into the habit of tracking, all right? Not every organization on the planet tracks their success, okay? But we needed, I just figured that we needed something that was just a little bit more professional so that we could easily put our numbers into our database, okay? So what we're going to do from here, I'm going to try not to lose you with technical stuff, but basically all you would do is I'll set you guys up with a Google Tracker, and then all we do here is just duplicate it, okay? And then there's the next week, and you just change the name of the week, and you keep going, you keep duplicating it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So this is a way we can stay on top of our numbers, okay? And now there's the other stuff down the bottom here is, you know, how's your organization going? How many parties did you host? How many guests were there? How many reps were there? How many one-on-ones have you done? All right? Basic training. How many basic trainings have we done? How many people came? How many in the organization? Now, obviously, right now, we don't need to worry about the two bottom ones that much, okay? Because right now, a lot of us are still in rebuilding phase. But what we definitely need to focus on is that first column, okay? So every day, just get into a habit of going in and checking and thinking, okay, cool. Where am I at right now? What do I need to track? How are my numbers going? Be honest, and that way we can actually look at it and we can start to progress. We can see where we're falling down, okay? And then if we start compounding this with the call center campaigns, with the journal that we're already doing, guys, this is weaponry. Now, what do we do for the newest person coming online? Are we going to get them to do all this? No. It's going to freak them out, right? This is for us because now we're at a level where we're not playing small anymore, all right? We're playing for keeps. We're playing a lot bigger. We need to become a little bit more professional. Is this going to hurt your head? Yes. This is going to give you the biggest freaking headache. Mikkel's probably going to want to chuck his computer at the wall. Nick, you're going to probably stick your foot through your computer. Carly, I don't know. You're pretty passive-aggressive, so you're probably just going to slap it and then get back to doing what you need to do, all right? Yeah, like, I think Carly's the only one out of all of us that has got enough I don't even know what the word is, but she can hold herself back from letting her aggression break something that's of value. Us silly boys like Neanderthals banging around with our shit, right? So we can learn from Carly. Josh, you're pretty cool like that too. You're pretty chilled. You probably look at it and be like, all right, I'll deal with you later, all right? Josh is the smooth one out of the crew. Kane, you are as well, actually. And so is Adam. I think the only ones that are likely to break shit is me, Mikkel, and Nick. So this is going to be tough, but we need to master it. There's just no other way around it. It's going to piss you off. It's going to be annoying. It's going to give you a headache, and you're going to want to break it. Push through. And you've got to convince yourself, am I that weak to let something as little as a few numbers in a simple bloody Excel spreadsheet break my spirit, get me frustrated, put me into an emotional state that drops my energy? We all know, I showed you guys a map of consciousness. We all know that wherever we're vibrating on, we're just going to keep on bringing in that shitty energy. So we're that small that we're going to let it defeat us. All right, we're not 5-year-olds here. Master it. It's going to be tough. We're just going to be on top of it. Each week, you'll go back to that and be like, all right, these are my numbers, bro. Well, these are my numbers, Ash. You know, here we go. And we'll have a look at it. And guys, keep your sheets. Use it as reference. Go back to it and be like, wow, week 31 or week 2 or week whatever, I sucked. Look how much I've improved. Why? Look at the numbers. How did I improve? What did I do different? Well, your journal will tell you that, because all you need to do is match up your dates. I just saw in my tracker, I took a massive peak in June. Why? Well, shit, let's go back to my journal. It's because, you know, I started to do a lot more research, reading. I started to really make sure that I was controlling my emotions. They weren't controlling me. I was positive. I was smiling more throughout the day. I took massive action. I got 3 call center jobs in one day, and I was prospecting everybody in there. I read so much that I became sharper than anybody in the office, and they saw me as an authority. That's why. Unless you know, unless you track, unless you document, you're never, ever, ever going to know how the hell you got to where you're at. Grant Cardone talks about it. He says that a lot of people just kind of get a win. It's like a blind squirrel can find a nut. And there's a lot of wisdom in that. A blind squirrel can find a freaking nut. So a rep that comes into the business is going to get a gig, is going to get a sale, is going to get a rep coming on board, is going to get a few customers. Does he know how he did it? Who knows? I'm really, really, really big now about raising our awareness and tracking everything we do, okay? It's just got to become an obsession. So whatever we're going to do, put it in your affirmation and say it every morning. I love tracking. I love it. I love it so much that I love it more than I love eating chocolate. I love it more than I love playing basketball. I love it more than I love fixing up bikes and cars. I love it more than I love skydiving. I love tracking. Right? You know, I just love it. And the more you program yourself with that belief, you're going to become addicted. And the best thing is that once your business starts taking off, you will love it. Because you understand the only reason why it's taken off is because we have the hard, cold proof in front of us. Does that all make sense?
Yep.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah.
Alright, so it's boring shit, I know, but it's the shit we're going to get through. Now I want to show you my tracker. Or do I? I did. Can you guys still see my screen?
Yep.
Yeah.
Let me just pull it over here. We're almost done. Alright. It's the wrong screen. Alright, let me try it again. Here we are. Alright, so this is my tracker, guys. So hey, check it out. Alright. So I've got key freedom fighters in the international expansion. These are all people that I'm currently really hyper-focusing on, okay? I've got daily, weekly build relationship list. These are all the people, these are all my top, for what right now, these are all my top prospects, right? Guys that have got stuff going on. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to prospect them for the business, because I already have, to be completely honest, right? But I've gone back and built a relationship with them, and now what I'm doing is, you know, you never know how that relationship's gonna present itself later on. Maybe for this, maybe not. Who knows, right? But all I'm doing is just building a relationship because you don't know where that good karma is going to come from. And when I find somebody I can connect these people with, I hook them up on Facebook. I hooked up a friend of mine who owns pretty much everything in Manila, right? Very, very wealthy and switched on young dude. He's organizing a UFC fight in one of his big establishments in the Philippines. I got him on to the guy that I signed up over in Hong Kong, and he's a UFC fighter. I'm like, you should team up with this dude, and you guys should do business. Now they're organizing a fight event together, coming up towards the middle of next year. I'm going to fly over for it. You never know, right? I'm not doing that so this guy owes me. I'm doing it because that's a universal dollar in the universal bank, and that's going to be dished out in karma. I never know when it's going to cash out. But all of a sudden, a good wave of karma is going to come over our business. Bang. Why? Because you're thinking about how you can connect people. This is all John C. Maxwell stuff, yeah? All right? Everybody communicates. Very few people connect. Think about how you can constantly connect people, not for your own self-advantage, right? So I've got that list. I've got my Australian contact list. I've got my Philippines contact list, Hong Kong, Singapore. I'm getting through my Thailand list at the moment, right? And I've just added a whole heap of names. And then what I'm doing is adding little notes here, right? And then I'm just continuing the notes down. So I've changed my tracker from what it used to be before. I'm just putting all the names here and all the follow-ups. I'm just putting in 1, 2, and I just keep going down, 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 all in the one box. So it's much more efficient. Cool?
Yep.
That's
Awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
So it's just, It's just a really, really, really kind of concise and easy way to stay on top. Guys, tracking is everything. I'm addicted to this shit. Seriously, like I'll go through and I'm always thinking about different, and I've got like a little page where I just like kind of just muck around with little ways to improve the tracking for us, for me. So, you know, it's just what we need to do. So there's that, there's the tracking. There's my tracker. So the 4 vital priorities is what? Invite, edify, track, and follow up, okay? So now we know how to track our numbers through the week. Now we know how to track our prospects, okay? And it's just a very, very simple and time-efficient way. So I can copy that and send it to you. If you just want that template, I can send it to you guys, okay? I'm going to make you guys one of the habits trackers, and that way you guys can just go in and basically, you know, add whatever numbers you got in there. All right? That's pretty much, I mean, like, we're pretty much done, so I don't want to go over time. The only other things that I would talk about is, A, keep journaling, guys, okay? You know, just don't stop journaling. I must admit, my last week on journaling was so bad. So bad. I'm not even going to lie. You know what that says? It says that, you know, like, even I struggle with it, okay? But it's just it's just that muscle that you need to develop, that willpower you need to develop to be able to do it every single day. Even I suck at it sometimes, right? But 100% I'm better more often than I'm not. And that's all we've got to understand, is we've just got to understand that that journal is going to help us in relationships, in wealth, in self. It is your diary to life. It's the keys to the kingdom, right? Why? Because understanding how this fucking thing works, it's the only thing standing in your way to achieving everything you've ever wanted. But in order to understand how we can make all of these thoughts in our head, see, all these thoughts in our head, we're thinking in fragments, right? We're thinking as though, you know, it's just gushing water, like blocked off by rocks. Here, it's like it's just all over the place. We want to figure out how we can get it as one flowing stream of thoughts. Only way you can do that is to write it down, reinterpret it, put it back in there, and then deliver it to the world. It's deep shit, I know, for 11 p.m. at night or 10 p.m. wherever the hell you are in Queensland, right? But it's important, okay? And I know we've been talking for almost an hour now, and it's hard to stay concentrated on. But we're all at a level now where we're leaders. We're going to step up, and this is what we need to do. So there's that. We didn't get a chance to role plays tonight, okay? That's all right. Personal development that I'm into at the moment, if you guys want to write this down, I've already sent it out to a lot of you, okay? Power versus Force, unfreaking believable. This book is blowing my mind, right? It's crazy, this book, right? Another book which is similar to that, it's called I Am That. Do not speed read this book, okay? I've got the PDF version of it. You want it, ask me, I'll send it. It's a massive, massive headache. It's one of those books which is really deep. You've really got to read over it and over it to understand it. Power versus Force is a user-friendly version of I Am That. Okay? What else? Second Chance. We all need to start to learn how to increase our financial intelligence, okay? And it starts with that book. It's one of the best that I've read from Robert Kiyosaki. Unreal. The Birthday book is always a good one, okay? And with that, let's not get caught up in the whole personal development bubble. Oh, I'm studying this, my awareness is getting risen, and blah, 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 blah. You know, like, those guys make no freaking money. They don't even get anywhere in life, right? What we want to do, want to read it and constantly go out there and take action, right? And learn to apply it. And some of you may say, oh, I went out and I completely stuffed it up. Good. The only way you learn how to apply it is through failure, trial and error, right? People are scared to go do trial and error, which is why they never apply the shit that they learn, because it's easier to read it and fix somebody else than it is to go out there, fail, F it up, get it wrong, come back, and then figure out how to calibrate and get it right. It's not easy applying this. And I would say even the top 5% of gurus that went out there only learnt how to apply this stuff because they got it wrong over and over and over and over. They look like idiots, right? Just get used to the fact that we're going to look a little bit silly. It's just the way it is, okay? And that's pretty much it from tonight, guys. So, you know, just to recap, all right? So the recognition, Unreal guys, have all done a great, great job. We are on the verge of a massive breakthrough, okay? Believe me when I say this. We are close. I can feel it. I've never been more focused in my entire life. I don't see anything but getting you guys the success that you want. And I know that each and every one of you are that close to overcoming your mental barriers, that first level. And when you break through that first level, maybe you're not going to hit white diamond, but it's going to feel pretty bloody good just getting to where you're going to get to, right? Emerald can do a lot for your businesses, all right? A lot, especially if you're maintaining, okay? So the call center campaigns, we went over that, okay? Understand, internalize it. We're not going to go in there and spam people. We're going to go in there, build relationships, and peak interest when it applies, okay? Otherwise, we're going to outperform everyone in the office and get people coming to us and asking, hey, who are you? All right? That's the plan. 4 vital priorities. Invite, edify, track, and follow up. We've got the 2 trackers. That's it, okay? There's nothing else. There's just our habits, and there's our prospects. That is it, okay? And if it's hard for us to update that, we just got to learn how to kind of manage our time just a little bit better, okay? The journal, which is how to get what's in here on paper so we can put it back in here and spit it out to the world, and they get it. And not only they get it, we get it, right? It's understanding us. No more fragmented thoughts. And last but not least, personal development, guys, all right? Always sharpen the sword. But don't just sharpen it. Learn how to cut shit down. Go out there and slice things up. Fail forward. Application is learnt through trial and error. Okay, it's not learnt by studying it, going out there, getting it right the first time. It's learnt through hard errors and trial and error. That's just the way it is. So that's it. That's all of us. So guys, hit me up and ask me for whatever, you know, like the books and the PDFs and stuff like that that I need to send to you. I'll get your emails and add you guys into your own trackers. I can send my template of my tracker if you would like it. But other than that, you know, we got what it takes. Guy, we just gotta lift that level of consciousness, and we just gotta believe. At the end of the day, it just comes down to, do you guys believe that we're good enough? Only you guys can answer that question. So hit me up with your emails afterwards. Well done to Kano and Nick. You guys ripped. Can't wait until you're down here, Kano. It's not long now. Enjoy Japan, my brother. I think you're taking off there tomorrow, yeah? Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, record it and chuck it in the group, Kano.
Yeah, he's on. I don't think he can talk because he's on mute. But that's pretty much it from us, guys. So communicate. Communication is the biggest thing. Let's talk. Anything that I went over tonight that you're unsure about, let's get on a one-on-one. Let's get on a Skype. Let's talk about it in the evening. Let's go over this stuff. Let's make this a habit. Let's use the next 2 weeks to really develop this stuff, to become experts. All right? I'm reading a whole heap of different shit at the moment. Can't wait to fill you guys in on it. And, you know, I'm going to start making PDFs on all the books that I've been reading and then send it out to you guys as just the summarized version, because I think that it'd be helpful. It's definitely not going to be something that happens overnight, but, you know, it is something to look forward to. So that's it. We're good.
Wait.
Everything in it's good. We're going to go out there and show people how good it is. All right? So, peace.
That's it.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
Group.